From downtown Waco to Cameron Park and even the Dr. Pepper Museum. Now, Waco is full of paranormal activity, but unless you're looking for it, you might not realize it. Ghost host Adam has been a paranormal investigator for about 30 years, now using his knowledge of the paranormal to show people some of the most haunted places in Waco and give them the chance to connect with the dead on the Haunts and Legends of Waco tour.
People from all over, a lot of them have a lot of questions and maybe even help, and they don't know who else to go to. So, love to stand up, help people look through the fear and the darkness.
He started off our tour in downtown Waco, taking us to the intersection of Austin Avenue and North 4th Street, right below the historic Alico building. Using a spirit communication app that detects what's called electronic voice phenomenon, Adam says it gives us the opportunity to communicate with those whose spirits still linger despite having long since passed on.
Go ahead and introduce yourself clearly.
Hi, I'm Isabella.
Hello. Hi.
What color is my shirt? Voice of a spirit? You decide. Next, we headed to the Hippodrome Theater, which first opened in 1914 and is well known for being haunted. The stories there include staff seeing shadow people in the hallways, people hearing singing or applause in the auditorium when it's empty, and even seeing things mysteriously move or fall from their usual place. But the green room underneath the stage is where people most often feel their presence, even on our own tour.
Right now I'm feeling like I have pressure in my chest. I'm very sad.
Our last stop was at Jacob's Ladder in Cameron Park, the spot where a ghost by the name of Grabby likes to hang out. The story goes that when he was alive, he allegedly murdered dozens of pregnant women and threw them into the Brazos River, now grabbing people as they go up and down these stairs. For this part of the tour, Adam used what's called dowsing rods to interact with Grabby.
Point real quick, show me where you're standing at right now. He usually stands right beside or behind me.
But why do so many people claim these places are haunted? Cindy Little, a paranormal investigator and parapsychologist, says a lot of it has to do with the history of that place.
A lot of times that activity is associated with some big tragic event. The reason why that we think that especially the downtown area is really active is that back in 1953 we had an F5 tornado come through Waco, and it completely just obliterated most of downtown.
114 people were killed that day and almost 600 were injured, making it the deadliest tornado in Texas history. According to Adam, traumatic events like this are believed to be what creates what we define as ghosts.
When we discorporate from this life and we transition and go to the next, you know, we go through the veil where we pass through, cleanly we go through. But we tend to imprint on the way out. And that imprint that remains is the ghost recipe. If it's a normal death, you know, no pain or trauma associated with it, the signature wouldn't be as strong. But if you attribute a lot of pain and suffering to that, it just becomes a lot more intense.
Which is why even 100 years later, many claim they can still feel their presence.
That energy will get stored in the environment somehow and can play back or, you know, spark paranormal activity later on.
And when this happens, people often try to find answers for something that shouldn't be possible.
It doesn't happen often, but it does happen pretty consistently, and that's just weird stuff happens. These unexplainable connections or confirmations or, you know, things that you see, you know, shadows or possibly things moving, and it's something that's just so out of the ordinary.
Which is where paranormal investigating or ghost hunting comes in. And while there are lots of cool tools you can use for this, paranormal enthusiast Georgina Holzmeyer warns that it's not always that straightforward.
We don't know what the paranormal is. We don't know what a ghost is. How can you detect something that you don't even know what it is? That being said, there are things that can prove that there's something going on. like the EMF and the trifield, those meters indicate that there's something different going on.
While most of us have no idea what those ghost hunting tools are, almost all of us have one of these. Nowadays, there are lots of apps out there that claim they can detect the paranormal, so I decided to put my investigating skills to the test and try some of these apps out for myself. To test these apps out, I am here at the site of the 1953 tornado memorial here in Waco, and we're going to be starting off with an app called GhostTube. This app has a camera feature that helps detect any human-looking figures you can or can't see, even tracking their movement. Next up, we have an app called Ghost Hunting Tools, which has a built-in word bank to pick up any spirit communications. Now, while out here trying this app, it did pick up the name Anthony, which could be a ghost trying to communicate with us. Now we're going to be using an app called Ghost Finder, which has all of these tools in one app, but today we're going to be using the Spirit Box. Now this connects to radio frequencies that allows spirits to theoretically talk to you through the phone. So we're going to try and speak to some spirits. Hello? If you're out there, does anyone want to say hi? No one wants to talk to me today. There are a lot of reasons people try to contact the other side, whether it's to be scared or connect with someone who's passed on. But if you do decide to give it a try, Adam says to be careful that you don't accidentally contact a not-so-friendly ghost.
If you don't do your research and take the proper precautionary measures, you could very easily gain an attachment.
So whether it's real or just a fun activity for this time of the year, that's up to you. Either way, happy hunting. Reporting in Waco, Isabella Quintanilla, KWTX News 10.